One, he's not utilizing full range resistance training. He's not utilizing the most technologically advanced tools. He's doing dangerous explosive exercises that cause injury. I don't see any workout tracking during the workout. Also, I see him doing ineffective balance and core training exercises. Other than that, he's doing pretty well. Welcome to another episode of Workout Rescue. I'm Blake Howe. I appreciate you joining me today. And today we're going to review Jordan Spieth's workout program. I'm going to analyze the video. Now, from what I see, there's several things going on with what he's doing now. And that is, one, he's not utilizing full range resistance training. He's not utilizing the most technologically advanced tools. He's doing dangerous explosive exercises that cause injury. I don't see any workout tracking during the workout. No iPad, no tablet, no even just a clipboard keeping track of exactly what he's doing, the weights, the reps, the sets, the timing on his workout, so that you can measure what he's doing from workout to workout. Also, I see him doing ineffective balance and core training exercises. Other than that, he's doing pretty well. Bottom line, is he doing the most productive workout possible? Absolutely not. And that's my opinion. Take it for what it is.
Golf-specific training is different from other sports. We're not out here to bulk up. We don't have to.
All right, you hear him say golf-specific training, and sports-specific training, 20, 25 years ago was a buzzword in the industry, but the research is very clear on specificity. Skills do not transfer from one activity to the other, and the process used to perform a particular skill is neurologically specific. When you do something, a task is either specific or it's not. And the number of muscle fibers recruited, the sequence in which they're recruited, and the fibers that are recruited are very specific to that exact activity. You build strength in the safest, most productive way in the gym. You apply that strength to whatever skill you're doing. Here he is jumping up on boxes and doing power cleans. Okay. Now, explosive exercises are simply a recipe for disaster. And there's a famous quote by Bill Parcells, and he said the best ability is availability. And the number one rule of sports performance training is to not get yourself hurt. That's definitely going to decrease the performance when you have an injury. Now, with explosive exercises, if you were to do any explosive exercises on a force plate, which is a measuring device that shows you how much force that's being applied to your body, fast reps and fast movement produce large peaks and drops in force. Basically, the research shows between 4 and 11 times the weight is being forced upon your body. So in this particular video of him doing power cleans, he's using approximately 100 pounds from what it seems like. So he's applying 400 to 1,100 pounds of force on his bones, his joints, his muscles. And to me, that's a recipe for disaster. That's more wear and tear on your body. It's unnecessary, and it doesn't make you more explosive in any way.
But as far as kind of how I feel this late in the season, it's the best I've ever felt.
So here he says he's felt the best he has this late in the season. And so anytime I see an athlete, in this particular shot, he was doing an explosive jump to a shoulder press and a twist fancy thingy. And that, to me, I would never have an athlete do, just due to the amount of force on the shoulder joint. And it doesn't make you more explosive, as we know. I Google their injuries. Anytime I see an athlete doing stuff like this, the first thing you do is Google their injuries. And it just so happens, you Google Jordan Spieth injuries and you'll find this. Jordan Spieth opens up about the injury that derailed his game. And if you go on to see this article, it shows in the first couple sentences, it'll say specifically that that he was injured during a workout in 2018. Now, it just so happens that this video is from 2018. Now, I don't know if the injury happened before or after, but it seemed like it was during the same time frame. But again, explosive exercises just get you hurt. And that's a matter of physics. There's no trainer in the world that can change the laws of physics to suit their own opinion. And to me, I would eliminate all explosive exercises.
When it's tough to sit on the toilet or get into your car the next day, that's when you know.
All right, so he brings up soreness. Now, soreness is no indication of strength gains or hypertrophy. Now, you can have the best workout ever, better than you did last time, and not be sore from that. Yet, if I went bowling tomorrow, I'd be really sore from that. And I can guarantee you that no hypertrophy or strength was built by me going bowling. Not to mention, how can you play golf productively if you're so sore that you can't even get in and out of your car? Okay, that makes no sense to me. There's no way you're going to be able to play a tournament the next day if you're so sore you can't even sit down on the toilet. So after the initial break-in period, which is about 1 to 2 weeks, if you do it properly, you'll almost never be sore from a workout.
I'm a training nerd. I don't look like The Rock, but I'm a training nerd.
All right, he says he's a training nerd. Now, a training nerd wouldn't be using rubber bands and doing power cleans because they would understand that those aren't the most productive way to work out. And he mentions, I always have to laugh when I hear people saying, I don't have to look like The Rock. And when I was training people, I'd be sitting in front of someone and they would say, you know what, I don't want to look like Arnold. And I would kind of laugh at the time because, look, if you dedicated your entire life to looking like The Rock or looking like Arnold, it probably wouldn't happen. You have to literally eat, sleep, work out, take drugs, have the genetics, and maybe if there was a 1 in a billion chance, you might look like The Rock. Which brings me to full range exercise. What is the most productive way to train the body? And there are 10 requirements of full range exercise. I'm not going to go over all of them today. The biggest thing is you need a rotational form of resistance. Human beings are rotary animals. Free weights, cables, medicine balls, dumbbells are not rotational devices. They have a basic shortcoming, which the resistance only comes from one direction. Now with free weights and medicine balls and dumbbells, that direction is straight down due to gravity. And your body is a rotational animal, so that when you're doing an exercise, only a very small portion of that movement that you actually have overload, okay? Secondly, you need variable and balanced resistance. Now, when you're doing an exercise, you're going to either increase or decrease strength as you move throughout the motion. Now, with free weights, they're not variable and balanced in accordance with the muscle that you're working. You have to have equipment that is engineered for full range resistance, and I included a few examples here. You have to have older Nautilus equipment, which is the pioneer of full range exercise. Those machines are built around that concept. Secondly, you have to have Med-X. Med-X is basically the Rolls-Royce of equipment, okay? They are a better version of Nautilus equipment. And then there's also Hammer Strength, which you can find in most commercial gyms. It just so happens that Hammer Strength is essentially Nautilus pre-1986 because Nautilus had a line, they had a plate-loaded line during that time. And Hammer Strength came out of that because the inventor of Hammer Strength is Gary Jones, who's the son of the inventor of Nautilus.
Touch with my body, feeling the muscles getting activated.
All right, here he says, I like the feeling of the muscles being activated. Now, full range exercise is the only way to activate a muscle from a full stretch to a full contraction according to the requirements of whatever muscle you're working. He's using cables, rubber bands, free weights, and we know that only activates a very small portion of the muscle during the movement. So if you want to get the most muscle activation, you have to use specialized equipment that's engineered around full range exercise. Now, how would I train them? My program would be based on injury prevention, minimizing wear and tear, increasing performance by creating muscle balance, strength, flexibility, and power. Now, it would follow a logical, scientific approach, eliminating high-speed, high-force, explosive exercises that just set you up for injury. We saw that. It's been shown. You can just Google it. You'll find it. You can do that with any athlete for that matter. When you see them doing this explosive crap, just Google their injury status, and you'll find it correlates almost every time. These are exercises like power cleans, plyometrics, which we saw him doing both of those in this videos, medicine ball throws, flipping truck tires, hitting truck tires with sledgehammers. Eliminate all this crap because it doesn't make you more explosive in any way. I would implement a total body strength training program utilizing the most technologically advanced equipment for full range resistance. And you need specialized equipment for that. Basically, there are 3 or 4 machine manufacturers that have been engineered around the concept of full range resistance. First, we would do a full postural analysis to identify muscle imbalances, postural deviations, develop a flexibility to help balance out the physique. and his body as much as we can. I would implement a total body strength training program, exercising all the major muscle groups of the body, starting from the largest, going to the smallest, 3 times a week in a high intensity fashion, doing 1 set of each exercise to failure, writing down, keeping detailed records of every single rep that he does and the time that he does per workout, so that we can measure it from workout to workout and know for sure whether or not he's increasing strength, not whether or not you're sore or not, or whether or not how it felt or anything like that. It's where the numbers and the data show you if he's making increases in his performance. Now, there is no single ideal routine. This is just an example of 3 different workouts that I would do, and they would change based on the results, the progress, what we're trying to work on. There's many different factors. This would just be an example. Well, I appreciate you joining me today. Thanks for watching. Feel free to share, leave comments. I'd love to continue the discussion further, and thank you for joining me.